glaube, ich mache mir gleich auch einen Drink tatsächlich. Ich hab Bock. Schleichwerbung am Rande. So. Sonst ist hier wahrscheinlich nichts mehr, oder? Ich würde mir gerne den Balkon und alles nochmal von... Aber genau, das könnte ich mir jetzt noch angucken. PS 3 Punkte. Ich kann vielleicht endlich mal Schlösser knacken. So. Das ist die Frage, was lernen wir dann als nächstes? Ich glaube, ich mache Entdeckung als nächstes, damit ich nicht so lange die Räume absuchen muss. Okay. RIP, würde ich mal sagen. Alter, dieser Typ, ey. Ja, der Typ, der nimmt mich so krass an den Doktor aus Outlast. Also dann machen wir uns mal auf die Socken. Und Ladebildschirm. Mein Spezies alle. Hallo. Willkommen zu einer ASMR, solange wie es noch lädt. Ich weiß nicht, wie lange es noch laden wird. Aber der Balken scheint ja fast voll zu sein. Okay. Ich bin gespannt, wie sich das nachher anhört.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
Das klang irgendwie ein bisschen horny, aber... Oh mein Gott, was ist mit diesem Bild?
May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings.
Eifersüchtig.
Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders.
Okay, jetzt soll
But
es
from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help?
Institut mit gutem Ruf. Ich habe Redegewandtheit 4.
Mrs. Sanders, I understand your grief, and I extend my deepest condolences to you. But I had nothing to do with the death of your husband. I've just arrived on Darkwater. I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
The death of the Hawkins family? You mean it was not an accident? This accursed island knows only tragedy after tragedy. You too would be advised to flee it like the plague. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Das
May
interessiert
I
mich.
ask you what Miss Baker is doing here? How do you know her?
My business with Miss Baker is private, Mr. Pierce.
But you do know what kind of business Miss Baker is in, don't you?
I am no fool.
Sorry.
Please believe that much, at least.
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
Oh, eine Galerie. Darf ich mir die mal
Did your
angucken?
husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my
Ja,
only
bin
lead
ich.
at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Die ist wirklich nett. Ausnahmsweise mal. Kann ich mich hier noch ein bisschen umgucken.
Did she really care for him after all?
What the fuck? Alter, sowas würde ich nie unterschreiben. Was war Entdeckung wollte ich skillen. Nein, gut. So.
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives. Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
Vielleicht sogar mehr als das.
A house of artists.
Das erkennst du an einem Klavier? Okay.
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler. Finally. What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel? Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
100 Pro.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
Der hat doch bestimmt noch mehr Fachbücher oder irgendwas rumliegen, oder? Ach, verdammt. Geht hier vielleicht? Ach, Manno. Haha.
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Irene, I made a mistake.
Es ist irgendwie ein bisschen assi, das einfach anzumachen.
Fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes.
Das war's?
I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Das tut mir jetzt irgendwie leid, weil ich finde die gar nicht mal so... Hä? Hä? Bin ich jetzt gaga? Mhm. Alter, hab ich mich gerade... Ah ja, wenn sich sowas kriegt man also Okkultismus. Interessant.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
Habits. Komm, Redegewandtheit 4, das schaffe ich.
I have a well-off client in Boston who heard about the death of Francis Sanders and wanted me to size up his estate before making an offer to his widow.
Perfect, Detective. The pretext? The body language? I would have bought it if it was the first time I'd seen your face.
Fuck.
You're a good talker, Pierce. Your story will do for the moment.
There's more than that, Miss Baker.
So people have been talking behind my back. I was almost beginning to like you, Mr. Pierce. But it stays cat for you.
You knew the Sanders?
Irene is a friend of mine.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Das
Why
kann ich
you?
sogar verstehen.
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say? Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
Alter. Habe ich gerade diesen Schlüssel geklaut?
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Alter, ich fühle mich gerade ein bisschen asozial. Und noch mehr Fortschritt. Oh! Ich bin besser geworden. So sieht das Viech aus?
I could use one of those.
Warum liegen hier eigentlich überall Schlaftabletten? Der Wal und der Dorsch. Das klingt wie so ein richtig schlechter Witz.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Okay, das geht. Hier geht's in die Galerie. Hätte ja sein können. Ich fange an, die ein bisschen zu mögen. Allein, dass das geht, ist schon kein gutes Zeichen. Hübsch, hübsch. Hübsch, hübsch. Hast du dazu nichts zu sagen?
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Da ist der Schlurfer.
The public entrance to the gallery.
Oh, es gibt einen Haupteingang. Genau, ohne Witz, das ist genauso das, warum ich nie in Kunstdinger gehe. Ich laufe dahin, gucke mir alles einmal an und fertig. Was willst du denn auch noch machen?
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Ah, weil alte Waffen... Okay, alte Waffen sind cool. Ich würde mir auch Schwerter an die Wand hängen. Hi. Ich wollte sagen Aslan, aber mit diesen Tentakelmähne siehst du doch eher aus wie Davy Jones.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Wenn er da stolz drauf ist. Was ist das? Ich habe, by the way, nicht vor mir die... Das ist irgendwie nicht schlecht. Ja. Neuer Killer in Dead by Daylight confirmed. Ah, hier ist noch was, wenn das wieder Schlaftabletten sind oder so. Lampenöl! Viel gayer jetzt auch nicht klingen können.
What the hell was that?